Hi partner, well on Gamers Web. My name's Mark, and in this video I'm going to take a look at some Gunfighters from Great Escape Games. Let's check it out. Hi and welcome back. Okay, so as I said in the intro, in this video I'm going to take a look at the Gunfighters from Dead Man's Hand from Great Escape Games. This is a 10-piece multi-part plastic kit that contains enough parts to actually make 10 individual plastic Gunfighters. Great artwork, it really sets the scene. I wouldn't like to be on that main street, that's quite nasty. Okay, and then here's what we get in the box. Okay, your time is over, you're going to die bloody, and all you can do is choose war. Dead Man's Hand is a 28mm skirmish game by Great Escape Games. Bands of tough and wily cowboys, stoic lawmen, ruthless outlaws and crazy desperados fight for fame and respect in the Old West. Contains 10 multi-part plastic miniatures which can be made in more ways than is possible for even an 11-fingered vermin to count. All weapons that you need to arm your dangerous bunch are on the sprue, including pistols, a repeater rifle, 2 shotguns and a rifle, as well as a host of extras to make your gang truly individual, plastic bases included. For more details, check out Dead Man's Hand. Rule sets, buildings, please visit greatestategames.co.uk. Okay, so here we have some 5 painted examples of the models that you can make with the sprues. And let's just jump straight in it. Okay, so when these were first announced last year, the guys at Great Escape were very kindly sent me a sample sprue, and unfortunately the video that I made was corrupted and the sprue being passed on to somebody else to paint for me, and I never got the figures back. So unfortunately that video went by the by, but what we've got here is something to hopefully rectify that matter. Okay, so we have a wee bookmark for Dead Man's Hand with Great Escape Games website on it. We have 10 plastic 25mm bases. Well, I think they may actually be 28mm, but they look like 25mm. And then we have 2 identical sprues of plastic miniatures. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to just move these out of the way and we'll have a look at all the sprues, because the sprues are identical. Okay, so we have our parts to make up our cowboys or desperados or outlaws or whatever you want to call them, all gunfighters. We have various leg poses, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 normal leg poses and 1 kneeling leg pose. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 torsos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 heads, and then loads and loads of weapon options. So there's lots of sharp pistols, there's pistols being drawn out of holsters, there's guns in holsters to go on the sides of the gunfighters. We have our shotguns. We have a shotgun that is, just turn it over so you can get a proper look. We have a shotgun that is loaded and ready to shoot, and then we also have a broken shotgun, so you can actually have that as the shotgun's about to be reloaded, or the person's carrying the shotgun with the barrel open. We've got saddlebags, we've got all sorts of stuff. There's a skull, there's some dynamite, a lorette, a wee cactus, and then empty holsters, and there is also 2 very small but really well shaped badges that we could use for the sheriffs or the marshals or whatever, or deputies. And oh, sorry, there's more than 2, there's 5. You can do them all as foremen. There's 3 more there. Wow, fantastic. Okay, looking at the heads, we've got a lot of dynamic range on the heads. We've got a hat with a Undertaker, we've got a masked one, we've got your desperado type guy with his bandana pulled up around his face. Got guys wearing derbies, guys wearing Stetsons, and obviously, like I said, the guy with the top hat, or the Undertaker's hat. Very, very nice models, really nice models, and apparently they go together really well, and I'm looking forward to actually assembling these because it's part of the project. that myself and Roland are working on at the moment for Gamers Web. Okay, so this is the first in a series of models in plastic from Great Estate Games. The Gunfighters 2 is due out in April, and hopefully I should have a review of that, and we'll take a closer look at that, and then we're going to have a look at Dead Man's Hand itself, which has just been re-released. The Gunfighters 2 is all female, with lots and lots of lovely ladies in two poses, sorry, in two sprues like this one, but all female, and it even features a duck or a chicken on one of the sprues instead of a skull. Okay, so I'm going to quickly assemble a couple of these models, and then we'll go from there, and hopefully you should be able to see what they look like. So I shall be right back. Okay, welcome back. So as with any project, when you're going to assemble plastic models or anything gaming wise, you need to make sure you got your right tools at hand. And as such, for this I've got some Tamiya cement, plastic cement. I've got a pair of side snips. I've got a scalpel. These are for cutting the parts off the sprues, and I've got an emery board as well. And the emery board is just basically to cut the parts, sand the parts and get rid of any burrs that are right on the sprues. The first thing to do is, because I'm only going to assemble one, because they're all very, very similar to assemble, is I'm just going to cut off the plastic base, and I'll put the other one to one side for a moment. And that's quite smooth. It doesn't really need much shaving or burring down, because normally you get a little lug like that on the top of the base. You may want to file it off. Now it's how we're going to assemble these guys. So for my first one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a guy standing up. So I'm going to choose these legs here. I get my snippers, and then I just put them flush against the actual body of the miniature itself, as close as I can get, with the flat part to the actual miniature, and then just cut like that, and then the piece comes out, and as you can see, there's only a tiny burr of plastic from the sprue on the top. And easiest thing to do now is just get the model, and instead of actually moving the board, I move the model. That way I can control the amount of movement on the actual model itself that goes and gets rid of the plastic edging. So with that done, I'm just going to quickly, if I can open the glue, I'm going to very quickly get glue and pop it on one side of my model, and then I'm just going to place that to one side for a moment, because I should have done this first, and I'm going to very gently just burr the top of the base to give it something to track onto. Now, you don't have to do that, but I do find that with plastic kits sometimes that works a lot better. So we've got our model, and I can now position it centrally, so the base's legs are on the model. And there's no correct or incorrect way of doing this, it's just a question of personal taste. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to choose a body, and we're going to go for this one, because this one's actually coming off the sprue itself. And I get a little bit more glue. Now, I don't need to actually file this down because it's quite smooth. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually have the body on the model, and depending on which way you put your torso depends on how animated your model looks. So I've got this guy, so he's pivoting slightly, and he's going to have his guns pointing out this way. I'm going to give him two pistols and just leave him to dry. And then if you actually look at the sprue, they've got lots and lots of different arms. You've got left arms, you've got right arms, you've got arms holding pistols, arms that are holding pistols, arms that are out to the side, arms out to the front. And what I need here is I'm actually going to go for the arm that's holding the pistol from his gun downwards. So he's actually drawing his pistol from the holster. So that's that one. So he's going to draw the pistol. So now I'm going to take this up and I'm going to put a spot of glue onto the arm. Just going to make sure that's on correctly. And then I'm going to get this piece here. All I'm going to do is just take it down like that. And then bring it so his arm is actually about to draw the gun from the holster. And the gun obviously is attached to his belt, like that. So as we can see, he's now about to draw the gun from his holster. Because the glue is plastic and it doesn't bond instantly, it gives you a little bit of time to play around with the positioning. Now, what I could do to make that sit a bit better is actually reposition the body, but I'm quite happy with that. And it's a 28mm miniature. The little tiny gap that's between the body and the gun isn't really going to be noticeable once it's painted. Okay, so we've got our arm with our gun. Next, I'm going to look for a gun that has no on the holster. I'm just going to take that piece off, and I'm going to get this and I'm going to glue this on the other side, on here. And this is where having big fingers doesn't really help, but the gun really goes one way. So the gun is going to go on the side of the holster, so the holster is going on the side of the body, like so. Right, okay, so we've now got the guy, he's drawing one hand out, reaching out with the gun, and with the other hand I'm going to use one of the open hands. I think there's a hand that's steadying himself. Yes, there is. There's one as if he's going for his gun. So I'm going to go for this one. Now, it's got a slight burr on the bottom, so I'm just going to take that off the bottom. Right. And this guy's hand is going to, your arm is just going to go on here. If I can eventually pick this up. And his arm just goes on here, like this. As if he's going for his other gun. Now he's already got one gun in his hand that he's about to draw out, and the other one he's about to go for that one. So he's been caught mid-pose. And I'm going to go for a different head. Let's have a look, what should we go for? So there's lots of really nice cool heads. But I think I'm going to go for this hooded cowl one, because it gives me less flesh tones to paint. And the less what you've got sometimes the better. Okay, so this guy's going to have his hooded cowl. And I just get that here now, and I'm just going to pop that on like that. And he's now looking like he's about ready to take on some lawmen, because he's a desperado, of course. Now, the one thing that seems to be missing off this sprue that I really would have liked to have seen is separate hats. There's no separate hats at all, and there's no heads without hats apart from that one. Which is a shame, really, but the models are absolutely really nicely detailed. I like the rat, that's quite nice. That's a good thing. Okay, right, so that's one model done. I'm going to do another one quickly, just to show you that it is so quick. And it's all about the posing of the models, which way you want them is the way you get the best out of the models. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a guy with a rifle, I think, on this one, because this one's a slightly more difficult one. Cut off the piece of the body, and we're going to go for this duster here. So he's going to wear the duster, if if I can get the sprue cutters in the right place. So he basically is going to be wearing the duster, and then I'm just going to get the same thing again. And I'm just going to quickly burr the top of the base to give a better adhesion, if I can pick it up. The problem with working on a very slippy surface, but it does keep everything in one place. Okay, so once again, glue that on, in place, and then it's just a simple question of gluing on the body. And again, just a little bit of glue. You don't need too much glue. If you put too much glue on, it's going to cause problems, and that's the last thing you need. And then I just get the body and pop the torso onto the legs like that. Okay, and this guy's going to have a gun. So there is a rifle, so I'm going to give this guy a rifle. I could make this guy into a lawman, I guess. Now, obviously, if you're playing a game like Dead Man's Hand, you know what the posse you're going to be playing is. You know if you're going to be playing as lawmen or outlaws or banditos or Native Americans, because you've created your gang. So you can choose which way you want to assemble your models. Okay, so I'm just going to pop the arm on. Now, it's still tacky. The body's still tacky. So it's giving me a little bit of leeway of movement to actually get the arm in right position. And I'm having the gun, so the gun's sloping across his chest. Like that. And then I'm going to get the arm that holds onto the gun. If I can find where I put it, there it is. And this arm is going to go underneath and upwards, holding the pistol up. Hold on. Just going to double check that I've got the right arm. Yes. Right. Yeah, always a good idea to double check that you've actually got the right side, because there's nothing worse than actually assembling a kit and discovering that you've put one of the arms on the wrong way around, which is quite easy to do with small figures, especially if you've got poor eyesight. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here like that, and because the glue's still tacky, it gives me enough time to actually mess about in positioning the weapon. And what I'm going to do now is take this arm off and then reposition it so it's the gun's in his hand like that, and then just get them so they're married up properly like that. And this guy's going to have his final thing, which is going to be his head, and I'm going to go for a derby hat on this guy with his mouth open. The animation on the poses of the faces is like amazing, really vibrant, and they've really captured the look very nicely. Okay, so and then I'm just going to very quickly okay, so depending on which way you put the head on, which way you have the head looking, you can get a variety of different feels for the model depending on which way he's looking. If he's looking like that, look, he's warming somebody off, or he could be on the lookout for someone. It's entirely up to yourself which way you want to have the head, but getting the head in the position that you want and then just leave it. So I don't like that position, so I'm going to actually put it back to that position there, as if this guy's looking up on the roof and they can see somebody on the roof and he's about to take aim at them. And that is two very quickly assembled models for Great Escapes games Dead Man Hand from the Plastic Gunfighter set. There's 10 in all the total, with enough accessory packs and accessories for you to build lots and lots of variety with your models. Right, so I'll take some pictures, I'll get the rest of the gang assembled, and hopefully get them in the end of the video. This model is available now from Great Escape Games and from all good game stockists. I got mine from Warbases over in Fife. Big shout out to the guys there because they were really cool. And we're going to have a video coming up soon with a look at the rules for Dead Man's Hand, as well as a playthrough and how we design our posses and stuff, and also a look at making some of the buildings and terrains and stuff. So thanks for tuning in. My name's Mark. No matter where you are in the world, please stay safe, look after yourself, and remember, if it's not fun, don't do it.